Do you think a 12-year-old should be able to get a tattoo?
I'm going to say no.
Probably not.
No.
It's probably too young to make decisions.
It's a pretty permanent decision.
They can't make the decision for themselves yet. Something permanent on their body.
Do you think a 12-year-old should be able to consent to puberty blockers?
Yes,
Yes.
and I understand how that sounds really hypocritical.
Yes, it's a permanent change on their body, but I think that at that point in their life, they probably know who they are, who they want to be.
And you think so at 12 years old?
Yes.
At that point, you guys, in their life, I mean, they're 12. They don't know that. Not at all. They can't even choose what they're watching on TV at night, or they're not even choosing what's for dinner. But they can go ahead and make these lifelong medical decisions, turn themselves into a lifelong pharmaceutical patient at the age of 12 because they know what is best for them. Wild start. Let's keep going.
Do you think a 12-year-old should be able to consent to puberty blockers?
Yes, because that's not a permanent decision.
That's a life-changing decision. I don't think that any 12-year-old is in a position to make a decision that's going to affect them long term.
He's obviously right, and she's obviously wrong. There are long-term effects to puberty blockers. They're called puberty blockers. They block puberty. There are negative side effects to blocking puberty. You can sterilize children using this. Some people say, like this girl right here, she says,
Yes, because that's not a permanent decision.
it's not a permanent decision, she said. Sterilizing yourself is a permanent decision. Skipping puberty is a permanent decision. If you take puberty blockers for, I don't know, a week, does it do that much to you that's going to be irreversible? Well, you skip a week of development, but you can probably survive from that. I almost feel like it's kind of like saying, well, you do some hard drugs and it's not going to cause any major long-term effects. And it's like, why are you saying that? Because a lot of these people have destroyed their lives, and if you do it for 6 months to a year, yes, it's going to absolutely hurt your body. Similar with puberty blockers in a way. Yeah, sure, you do it for a couple days? Sure, you can survive that. How many are taking them and stopping? Well, it's just so happens to be the case that over 95% stay on puberty blockers, because the goal of being on puberty blockers is to take cross-sex hormones.
When you get puberty blockers, for a lot of kids, that's like life-saving, is keeping them from having to go through a puberty. I think puberty blockers are a great sort of like middle ground to allow a child to better understand themselves without having to make decisions like surgery or doing nothing and having to live through a puberty that is not within, that they don't identify with.
They have to live through a puberty that they don't identify with. In the beginning, she says it can be life-saving for children. It's life-saving. You could see how it could potentially be a good argument if it were true. Because they conveniently have this argument of, well, if kids don't take it, and if you don't let them go down this path of skipping puberty, which, by the way, you can't like get this puberty back, right? So if you don't support their decision to skip puberty, they're gonna kill themselves. What a convenient argument. And also, what an evil argument, because there's no basis for it at all.